Kirby Star Allies is a game, but I don't want to talk about games. I want to look at artwork at a museum. It's too bad this game doesn't have a museum or artwork. Now, if you couldn't tell by my recent thumbnails, I'm a bit of an art guy, so to have a small feature in the game dedicated to artworks based on various different Kirby games and characters is definitely highly appreciated. There's a total of 18 different works in the game, each of varying styles and visual appeal. And so because of this, I'm just going to go off of these artworks, ranking them just by, my own personal tastes in art. You'll quickly see what my tastes exactly are as we go on to the video. There's some construction going on outside, so if you're hearing all that, don't worry about it. It's fine. The show must go on. I'm also going to try something a little bit different in this video and this time around. So, instead of doing my normal stick of, talking to the camera, I'm just going to put up the visuals right on the screen and then read directly off of the script. Why I didn't pick it this sooner, I have no idea. So let's get into it. For the time when this came out, it was a visual spectacle, and a real treat for any art enthusiasts and fans of Kirby 64. But nowadays, I'm really sorry to say this, but it looks so AI generated. I know it isn't, because it's very consistent, and AI images wasn't even a thing back then, I don't think. And even nowadays, it's not on this level. But just by the looks of this, it looks like something Bing Image Creator would puke out. I genuinely feel nothing looking at this. I have zero emotional attachment, or any attachment for playing Robobots, given that I've never played it, and because the picture, in general, is just boring to look at. Look, it reminds me of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the sticker gimmick. Enough said. Once again, I don't have any attachment for Planet Robobot, so I virtually get nothing out of this picture. It's more visually captivating than the previous, I guess, but that's not a high bar to reach in my opinion. They went with a very mosaic art vibe for this one, and while I respect the effort put into it, I'm not really big on that style of art, so I don't really feel one way or another for this. Unlike with Planet Robobot, however, I did grow up with Return to Dreamland, so there is some level of emotional attachment to this. Not a whole lot, but more than the previous, which was a step up. Same story as Robobot. Never played the game at all, so I don't really have any emotional attachment for the source material. Plus, the proportions of Kirby and DDD feel off to me for some reason. So why is this higher than the Planet Robobot pictures? Bee Lady in the background make my heart go fluttery. Conceptually, I should adore this picture because it's both stunning and features things that make me melt like butter, such as space, sunny days, and the lake. But I don't know, it reminds me way too much of beach episodes in anime, which I never really enjoyed, so I can't really say I like it too much. It's a real shame too because that background, holy moly. The style of this one is unique to say the least. It reminds me of MS Paint meets Yoshi's Island, and I kinda dig it. I wouldn't consider it the most appealing artwork of the bunch, but somehow that makes it better? My only complaint really is how Kirby looks, it just doesn't look right. This one is on par with the previous in terms of art style and visual appeal. I played Kirby 64 in the past, sure, and I have a lot of nostalgia for the N64 era of games, because I watched them all the time growing up on YouTube. But I don't know, I'm not really feeling this one much, and I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's the way DDD looks, maybe it's Kirby's weird small face, or the way Adeline looks like a doll. But I don't know. I really wish I would like it more, but I don't. Also, why is there a Power Star? This one is dictionary definition overcomplicated. There's way too much going on for me to properly enjoy it. My mind can't comprehend anything because my eyes dart around too much with how everything is fighting and begging for your attention. It's way too much, it's trying way too hard, holy crap. Calm down. Was there really any point for all the excessive lightning? I don't even know where to start with this. There's just so much happening at once. It's just why? I know it's called Super Ultra Battle, but holy crap. Tone it down. This sucks. Why is it above the rest? Because at least this made me feel something. Rage, confusion, overstimulation. But it's still more than nothing or boredom or ugliness. And that's, well, I guess it is ugly, but you know, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Artwork number 1 in the game, based off of Kirby's first outing. It's a decent little piece, but I'm not entirely sure what's going on. And I don't know where to start or where to end. If I get going, I may never end. Firstly, like, why are they in the air? What's with all the damn motion blur? Why is every enemy and boss just chilling out in the background? It's just a weird piece. And it reminds me of a bunch of The Miracle in the Sky and Delicious Picnic and whatnot. And, you know, the art style, it definitely looks old. When I first saw it, I definitely thought it was like a time capsule from the old times, but it's not the case. Yeah, it's a weird piece, but, you know, it's better than the rest. This is in a very similar vein as Super Ultra Battle for being highly complicated. It's trying to nab your attention to every single orifice. So why is it higher? Simply because I'm a sucker for reference cameo stuff, and that's all this is. Plus, it's the only droplet of Kirby's epic yarn in the entire game, so, you know, it gets a little bit of brownie points for that. The first piece I genuinely really like. It's just a very cozy and warm scene. It doesn't try to overcomplicate or force you to look at every which way. It's very organic the way it grabs your attention. And I appreciate that despite never playing a source material game. The art style is just very soft. It uses a bunch of pastel colors. I just look at this piece and I forget all my worries. Whoever the artist was that did this, kudos to you. You did a good job. And I thank you. This is basically Super Ultra Battle, but after going to rehab and getting clean off the steroids. It's complex, but in the perfect way possible, as it divides all its attention grabbers in separate boxes, showcasing the major events of the game. Definitely helps to have a shitload of nostalgia for Return to Dreamland. Plus, I really dig the whole art style theme, kind of reminiscent of comic books with the whole line shading and all that. Really good piece. This is a dream above the clouds, but 1,000 times better because it takes place on the Fountain of Dreams in Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is one of, if not my favorite stage in that series. Visually, at least, because it's in space, and if I haven't made it clearly yet, I love space. It just reminds me of a summer's day, but at night. There's no complicated battles going on, no worries, just 4 friends chilling, and I want to be there chilling with them. You may find me mentally insane to put this above so many other artworks. But in my defense, Kirby Squeak Squad was my first video game I remember playing, so it holds a very near and dear place in my heart. Amazing Mirror was trash though, which is why it isn't any higher. I get why they, put them together and all that, but why not go to full Mario and put Nightmare and Dreamland here as well, because it uses the same art style too. I don't know, man. If this was just split up into 2 different pieces, one being Squeak Squad, one being Amazing Mirror, the Squeak Squad part of it definitely would have been way, way higher. But that's, as is, it's being weighed down tremendously by the anchor that is Amazing Mirror. Do I even need to say it? And here we have number 2. The Roach is, without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite Kirby character ever. And I adore how he's drawn here. I always forget what's in the rest of the pick because I'm always hyper-focused on him. And his red suit and gray fur does wonders, making him stand out amongst a mere blue and purple environment. Dark Meta Knight's there too, I guess. For some reason. Simply put, having a character that I hold very near and dear to my heart featured prominently in one of these pieces is definitely going to raise it up a whole bunch. And it gets extra points when it's drawn genuinely good, as the Roach is right here. He is just so goddamn striking. Right now, I'm just talking about the Roach himself in the piece rather than the piece itself. But that just goes to show how biased I am. And of course, the last one on this ranking is going to be the last artwork in the game. The final artwork of the gallery. It's such a simple drawing, but it hits so hard. I have no idea the meaning or purpose of it, because this game obviously isn't the final Kirby game, nor did anyone really believe It was when this came out, but I have no clue why it's here. But nonetheless, it's beautiful. The sepia tone, sketchy watercolor painted art style really sells it that they wanted this one to leave an impact on the player base. And it really did. Beautifully. This is the only artwork to have only Kirby present. There are no other characters to speak of, unless you count the Butterfly and Warp Star. But I don't. There's so little in the picture, and yet there's so much at the same time. It's truly a work of art that belongs in a museum. So yeah, when I said here that I was working on a smaller video, I meant it. There were times when I went off script to talk about a piece more in depth than I had initially written. Because when you're writing the segments for a script, they always end up sounding much longer than they actually end up being. But I believe I said all I needed to explain why I do or don't like these pieces. Kirby Star Allies is one of my favorite games ever, and I don't care what anyone says about it because it just holds a really special place in my heart. It is perfect to me, and these works do nothing but elevate my appreciation for the game. They're a harmless and fun bonus, and it gives it a little bit more personality, and I appreciate that. Even if I believe some to not be very great, I still enjoy them for existing. And the ones I do like, I just straight up love. Hopefully the next video will be a little bit longer and have a little more work put into it. But right now, I just wanted to, put something out there real quick so I have something new to put out. That's about it. So yeah.